Hey, it's Lisa Kostova. I'm a leadership coach for entrepreneurs using astrological technique. And today I want to talk to you about famous entrepreneurs who have used their Leo energy to the maximum power. So today we're talking about Leo. And in the last episode, I covered some of the strengths and talents that are typical for people with Leo energy. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be born with your sun sign in Leo, like the one that you normally know based on the date of your birth. You could have a lot of Leo energy in your chart even though you're not born with the sun in Leo. And in order to see that, you need to look at your chart or have an astrologer look at it or have myself take a look at it to be able to tell you what your true strengths and talents are based on the makeup of your chart. But back to the point of Leo. So last week we covered the three strengths that make Leo especially effective. And those were their quality of being dignified and regal, of owning the room, of being able to carry that projection of the outside world onto them. So being able to be a brand, being able to be identified as a brand, as somebody with a strong presence in the world. The second, the second quality that I discussed was their ability to be truly authentic and get the spotlight on them and get really appreciated for who they are when they're being authentic. So looking to express their authentic selves instead of looking to give people what they think the world wants to hear from them. And the third part was the fun and the playfulness that Leos can so perfectly embody. And that truly opens the gate for their authenticity, for their being perceived as a unique person in the world and radiating charisma. So there are a few interesting entrepreneurs that I found in my research carried a lot of Leo energy. One of them, or I'll actually start with a small group of them that for me exemplify the idea that Leo energy can make a brand of its own name. So Leo can stand for something that is truly authentic, truly different. And when Leo has the courage to stand by the whatever it is that they believe in, whatever it is that they're creating, whatever is unique and authentic, they can become the brand of their company. They can become the name of a movement. So we see that with some Leos like Coco Chanel, who was born in a poor family at the end of the 19th century in France. And she really got her break. She tried singing at first, then she got her break by starting to make hats. And then she pioneered a lot of fashion for women that was very different and that was not conventional. Like she wasn't necessarily making things that people wanted or expected to see on a woman. She pioneered the little black dress, the famous dress suit. So for the first time, somebody borrowing elements from men's fashion to put on women. And of course, she was the first designer that designed her own perfume, Chanel number 5. And her name, Coco Chanel, is on all her products, on all her brands, because her authenticity, her being able to stand for something, amplifies that Leo energy, and she's using it to make a difference in the world. And she's the name, she's her own brand. Another entrepreneur where that is clearly the case is Martha Stewart, another Leo. And Martha, she had an early start in the catering business. Interestingly enough, she started that from her basement. It took off. She was a child model or a teenage model, and she started the catering business with one of her friends who was also a model. And they had a falling out because the friend believed that Martha was doing her own business on the side and she was difficult to work with. So Martha bought out her friend in that catering business And later on, she had the opportunity to cater for a few famous people and really present her not just the food that she was making, but she was there as the hostess. And so it was through her talent, her ability to be seen or to get attention as the hostess, so the party creator, not just the person behind the scenes, she was noticed. And she had the opportunity to publish a few books bearing her name. And again, I think it was Martha Stewart Cooking, Martha Stewart Christmas. There's so many different takes on homekeeping and cooking that she put her name on, that she put her brand on. And again, this is, I want you to see how her Leo energy, which is really comfortable being center stage, which is really comfortable being the product or the brand, was in the display here with Martha Stewart being her own brand, not just the cook, the caterer, behind the scenes person, but being front and center of her own brand, of her own empire. We have another famous Leo that I greatly admire, and that is Madonna. So Madonna was raised in a deeply Catholic family, and her mom died of cancer when Madonna was just 5 years old. And Madonna remembers her mom being so frail and so submissive and not having her own voice, that she said that her mom's death really defined how she wanted to be seen by the world and how much she wanted to have her own unique voice in the world. So she famously packs her bags, I think in her teens, heads to New York, and is there to just sing her own, find her own unique voice, sing her authentic song. So this is again an example of a Leo who doesn't just go and sing other people's songs, who understands that it's so important to find her authentic voice, that becomes the focal point of her life. And that's what then brings that very prominent Leo energy to the front. Anytime she had an opportunity, she took it and was able to become her own brand, her own name. Now, there are a lot of people out there, entrepreneurs who have brand names who are not born with their sun in Leo. That is not a prerequisite. What I'm saying here and what I want you to hear is that as a Leo or somebody with strong Leo energy in your chart, you have the opportunity to be seen and appreciated as your product, as your brand, whatever it is that you stand for, as long as you deeply believe it and you're authentic about it. There will be opportunities for you to take the stage and have your name front and center as something that is your brand, is that is bigger than just your product. Interestingly enough, my business coach Shanda Sumter is also born during the Leo period, so she is a Leo as well. I have not seen her chart, but what I can tell you is that this is somebody who has a strong stand. She is the face of her company, and she also looks quite lionesque with her mane of golden hair. But she stands for generosity. She stands for having a big heart and sharing your gifts with people and leading with generosity, which again, if you remember when we discussed Leo, the heart, being able to connect with the heart is a very central talent, a very central motivation for anybody with strong Leo energy. Now, if we take a look at some of the men entrepreneurs who carry that Leo energy, it's amazing how many of them are very presidential. And in fact, some of the most famous, polished, and dignified US presidents have been Leos, like Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. So if you think of Barack Obama, it doesn't matter if you voted for him, liked him as a president or not, he certainly has that characteristic of dignity, of presence, of being regal. He is not somebody who is loud or is not somebody who is highly agitated. This is the embodiment of a very high Leo energy that you as an entrepreneur can also use, realizing that you have that presence, that you can just relax and sit comfortably and own your power that this is something that you're wired for is an incredible feeling and will take you far. It will give you the courage to speak your truth. Another entrepreneur who carries Leo energy, who is very charismatic, is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And again, this is somebody who had a big dream and who is known for his charisma, his sense of humor. And he was the one who broke a lot of barriers, just like Barack Obama broke the barrier of there being a non-Caucasian president of the United States. So did Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was, I believe, the first non-American born governor in the US. And before that, he was the first Austrian or the first person to win some of the big bodybuilding competitions. He broke a lot of stereotypes. I think he was the first movie star to have come from such an untraditional background of bodybuilding. And he became a brand of his own. If you hear Arnold Schwarzenegger, you understand the person. You don't think of, oh, the governor of California, oh, bodybuilder, a movie star. You kind of see all of that in one. And so Arnold is really an example of how you as an entrepreneur can use your Leo energy to be a little bit like a movie star, to be playful, to be fun, to be charismatic. Don't be afraid to smile. Leos have such a charming smile. It's almost like a childlike smile that's just full of laughter and fun. And that's part of the Leo charisma that you can use to take your business further, to serve the people who you're serving better, and just kind of shine a light on that playful side of you, on that fun side of you. So if you found this video or this recording helpful, please leave a comment, send me a message. I love hearing from you. And I'm so passionate about serving entrepreneurs to show them what their true talents and potentials are. And that's not just their sun sign. As I mentioned, working with the full chart, I have the ability to partner with you to help you truly understand what your unique gifts are. And not just that, but we can look together at who you can become and how you can take your business forward in the most advantageous way, in the best way, in the fastest way. So I look forward to hearing from you. Have a beautiful day.